Normally, when I talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm not usually all that concerned about their regular season record. Um, they are never a team. They've never been a team that, at least this version of the Cavaliers anyway, they've never been a team that will consistently win 60 plus regular season games. They play down to the level of the competition. Sometimes when they're playing against the best teams, they look like a championship caliber team. Then the next night they'll play against the New Orleans Pelicans or what have you, or the Charlotte Bobcats, and they'll look human and sometimes even lose a game that they should have won. Sometimes they lose their mental focus down the line, down the stretch of certain games. But usually, I'm never that worried about that. But now that we're heading toward the waning weeks of the regular season, I'm concerned about Cleveland. Okay, oftentimes when it comes to winning championships, it's not about who has the best record in the NBA, although that does help a lot to have a home court advantage. But it's often the team that's playing and gelling at the right moment, going right into the postseason. Oftentimes, those are the teams that overachieve and upset and go deeper than expected, and sometimes even win it all. One team that comes to mind is the Detroit Pistons. Many people, I'm talking 2004 Pistons, many people wrote that team off against the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals. It was one of the true upsets in finals history. But going back to this Cavaliers team, right? I don't know. I have a couple of thoughts. I think this team has lost its identity to an extent. Sometimes I think that this team, some days they want to be a carbon copy of the Golden State Warriors, and then some days they want to be a hard-nosed, defensive, rugged, half-court set, rebounding, team. Like, I don't think it has a set identity. Lately, defense has been very porous. I was looking at some numbers, and earlier on in the season, this team was really good defensively. But the last 2 months, well, really 2 to 3 months of the regular season, they have not been very good defensively. Oftentimes, if their offense is not going, Cleveland struggles to win or downright loses at times. They're relying on their offense to win, and that's not a very good thing when you're not the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, especially with Kevin Durant, they can get away with doing that for the most part. The Cavaliers doesn't have the Cleveland Cavaliers do have a good offense, but they don't have quite the offense that the Golden State Warriors have. Okay, and when you have players down low like Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson, to be ranked, what are they, 22nd? Or I think they're like in the low 20s when it comes to defensive efficiency. That's unacceptable. You can't win a championship with that. I think they're 22nd in the league. That's ridiculous. And you look at tonight, Denver scored 70-something points in the first the first half. They shot 53% from the floor. They scored I don't know how many points in the paint. That's ridiculous. And Cleveland keep thinking they can turn it on and off and on and off like that, and it's not gonna keep working, because lo and behold, you see what's happening in the Eastern Conference. You see teams are starting to catch up with this team. You got the Washington Wizards. You got the Boston Celtics, who really, to me, I'm be honest with you, I still have Cleveland favored to go to the NBA Finals, but I'm no longer thinking it's a sure thing anymore, man. But it's good. It's good for the game of basketball. I know people who are Cleveland Cavaliers fans is like, oh, you're hating on Cleveland. No, competition is good because, to be honest with you, it gets kind of boring to see the same guy go to the NBA Finals year in and year out representing the conference. It gets ridiculous. Okay, this is what I guess the Eastern Conference felt like watching the Boston Celtics back in the 50s and really the 1960s. 8 years in a row, the Boston Celtics went to the NBA Finals representing the Eastern Conference. 6th time in the 1990s, Michael Jordan and company represented the Eastern Conference in the Finals. I think, 8 times in the 1980s, the Los Angeles Lakers represented the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. I mean, unless you're a fan of that team, it can get nerve-wracking and tedious. So, I guess my final thought would be, too, is that Cleveland has also lost that edge that they had, that chip on their shoulder that they had last year. You know what I mean? LeBron and company knew that they were 2 significant injuries away from winning the title in 2015, and they created history in the NBA Finals last year in 2016. This year, I think that there's certain players on that team that want it, and there are some players on that team that rather be out with their Kardashian girlfriend on a boat or attending lavish parties and enjoying that $100 million contract while he's getting bullied and out-rebounded by lesser players at times. I mean, you know who I'm talking about. And it's not just him, there's other guys. I think there's certain players on this team who aren't as mentally focused as they were last year. Granted, this team has had to deal with injuries. Their record is not horrible. I think they're 46-24, but that's a lot of losses for a team as good as they are. You know what I mean? They should not have this type of record, man. But in conclusion, though, I know LeBron James, he wants it. I know he's frustrated. He's a great, great player. But I think that he can see that. I think personally, him being as experienced a player as he is, this is his 14th NBA campaign. I think he can sense to this team at this moment, they're not going to win a championship. Not playing the way they're playing right now. They're not going to do it. And he's going to have to really get into these guys. He's going to have to tear into these guys, man, because going into the playoffs, here we are late in March. Soon it's going to be April. The regular season's winding down. These guys are going to have to really get into a groove right now to make it to the finals. I see it time and time again. Usually teams that don't play well, I don't care if they were defending champions, if you're not playing well in the month of April, you're probably not going to make it too far in the playoffs. That's all I got to say.